Welcome back to Papi's Kitchen. This month we're going to be doing football food month, and our first dish is going to be empanadas. Alright? The idea behind football food month, my big brother Andrew is going to be guest hosting for the entire month. Come on. Alright, over here we got some ground beef going with a whole diced onion, seasoned with salt and pepper. And to that we're going to add this chicken. And the chicken is going with the broccoli. So we're going to be doing a chicken Kiev and a traditional ground beef and cheese. Alright? So get this wok reheated over here.
One thing, the ground beef, cheese, and empanada, our disc, it's what tastes good together. You can stick almost anything together. And since I think chicken Kiev is a good dish, I know it'll go over well in this style of cooking. Like I said, we have like Eddie said, we have ground beef going with onions, salted, peppered, to taste. To that, we're going to add a spoon of sofrito, which the easiest way to explain it is it's a pesto, like a Spanish-style pesto. We add it to all our meats. The chicken's been marinating in it prior to hitting the wok, and we're adding it to it now. The reason we do it that way, marinate the chicken and not the beef, is the beef always gives off a lot of its own juice, and we clean the chicken. It's chicken breast, 3 chicken breast cubes cut down short. And we let it sit in that to soak up the flavor, but we want the beef to give off its own flavors and then add this to it. So that's why we go the separate route with the beef and the chicken.
There we go. First step is done. We're going to wait for this to finish cooking, and then we'll put the stuffing in the pastry and wrap it up. Be right back. Alright, so everything's finished cooking. We'll bring that broccoli and introduce it to the chicken. How you doing? Set up real quick. And what we're going to do is we're going to strain both of these to take any excess liquid out. Because when we wrap it, you don't want all the extra sauce from the meats just, messing everything up and spilling meat out and broccoli and stuff like that. So we're going to drain them, get them kind of dried up, and then we'll wrap them.
Nice, that your first bite doesn't want to be, you don't want to feel anguish on your first bite. You could wrap them like they are now, but when you take a bite, the juice and the sauce will be the first thing that sprays in your face, and it wouldn't be a pleasant time.
Yeah, that too.
Now, this is what we're using. You find them in your grocery store, in the freezer section, in the Spanish section of your freezer section. These are Goya discs. They come 10 at a time. They come packaged looking like this. They're about this. If you folded them this big, you'd have like a ravioli style. I like to use a rolling pin. I like to roll them out, get you a little more pastry to work with, give you a little more stuffing area, and that's why I have a little bit of flour here in this rolling pin. I'm going to roll them out a little better. A couple of empanadas wrapped out. I have the chicken and the broccoli and the cheese here. The cheese I'm using is an Italian 5-blend. Asiago, Romano, Parmesan, Provolone, mozzarella. These are the beef ones that Ed's making here. I'm going to take a little bit of cheese. I'm going to drop it down first. And I'm using shredded cheese for this, so it'll melt a little better and kind of wrap all of our goodness. And here I have the chicken and the broccoli from earlier that was mixed together off the saute. So drop that in there. Make sure you get some broccoli for the vegetarians in the house, pseudo-vegetarians. And take that, we're going to wrap it. Now, when you're working with this pastry, there's a lot of little tricks you need to know. This pastry coming out of the freezer, even frozen, you need to dust them. Dust them with flour, and as you're working with them, you'll notice as they start to thaw out, they kind of want to stick to each other. So that's why you're flouring them ahead of time. And there you go. That's one. When you buy these, a always remember, you want to get them as flat as can be. You don't want them hanging over each other like that because you have to separate them while they're frozen. So when you're separating them while they're frozen, if you have a hangover, when you go to peel them, it'll snap, giving you less pastry to work with. And I like to stretch them out to get a bigger serving, that way you don't have to eat 10, you can have 5. So these are very good and you're going to want to come back and back again. Give it a couple rolls each way. Try to give myself an extra inch or so of radius. As you can see, this is what I just rolled out, and this is how they start. So you got about another inch of radius, and you have enough space to pack a little more extra stuff into. And extra stuff is better in my book. So again, we just drop the cheese down first. I like the cheesiness, so I put a good helping of the cheese. I make sure I have a good incorporation of the broccoli and the chicken. Again, you could use any flavors that you like. You can make a pizza one of these. You can make a breakfast one of these. I've done it in the past. You scramble up some eggs, chop some sausage, throw it all together, a little bit of cheese on top, fold them over, bang, you have a breakfast that's great. And anytime I can get something fried, I love it.
Got it all wrapped up. Throw them in a really hot pot of grease or a pan, whatever you're going to use. I use a pot because it's a little deeper. You can fry them a lot better in the deeper pans. So just fry them up, sit down, enjoy it with a beer, and watch a football game. All right. See you next week on Cooking with Papi, and we're going to be making.
We got some special shout-outs.
Oh, you got some shout-outs?
We got some shout-outs. A big fan of, because this is my first time, a big fan of Papi is Kristaniqua, Nansasia, and Donasia. So you girls, you have a good time watching this next episode. I hope you enjoy it all. I hope to be back soon. In the meantime, you're Cooking with Papi.
See you next week.